What are the other key functionalities of eFarm Direct? Given that we have this set of data with us, we are also trying to get metadata, like for example analytical data. The key information you will see in the analytics section of eFarm Direct is information such as demand versus supply. This is very crucial because we feel that sometimes there is all the farmers are growing the same vegetable at the same time, arriving at the market simultaneously, because of which there is an oversupply situation, or sometimes when they don't get a price, all the farmers stop growing that same product and there is an undersupply situation. So typically the demand is very stable. If you see ultimately a city like Chennai, there will be like population of 8 million to 9 million. It's not that one day we suddenly eat 4 liters of rasam and the next day we don't take rasam at all. Every day we have sambar, rasam and rice and I think to the same amount of quantity, and every human being roughly takes about a quarter kilo to half a kilo max of vegetables and fruits. There is certain thumb rules to that. So that way the demand is fairly stable. It's only the supply which keeps going up and down, because of which there are a lot of variations. So we want to stem that, and we want to share those information so that farmers can plan ahead, buyers can also plan ahead, so that to avoid these kind of skewed situations which are happening. We'd also like to share what people are searching for, so that way farmers can look at any specific demand or any specific niche segments they want to get into. And we're also going to share a lot of information about eFarm Direct's own search and how many people are hitting the site and what they're looking at, so that people can look at what products to grow and where to target. And also, like, we're going to share information say geographically, because this is a product which is very nature bound, which is dependent on nature. So that way, like, people can look at alternatives. Like suppose you cannot pick from Tamil Nadu, say in Andhra or Karnataka is the same product being grown, or say you can overlay say the monsoon arrivals and rains and look at alternatives in case the rains hit your particular area and all the farms are flooded. Where else can you get these things from? So these are analytical information which is analyzed and is going to be put into the portal, and we can of course guide you on how to use these, but this again is left to your own individual demands, and you can start looking at this information. So similarly, another key thing is we're going to start giving features like where people can rate each other. So a buyer and seller, in case you do the transaction, initially we'll only be giving the information, we don't get into transactions. So you can share the good news and the bad news. So that way, like, other buyers and sellers would be aware of before dealing with that particular person, and you can also rate each other. Everybody is going to get a grade. So you'll get 7 on 10, 8 on 10, 9 on 10 and things like that. So that way, like, somebody who's getting a 10 on 10 can expect that lot more people would want to deal with him, because currently what we feel is everybody, all the farmers seem poor and all the farmers seem very naive, which is not correct. Even amongst the farmers community, we know that there are crooks who cheat people, who take money and who don't deliver. At the same time, there are some very genuine good farmers who sometimes feel very disappointed because the government comes and says everybody gets the same subsidy, everybody gets the same dole. So they are not differentiating farmers based on their abilities or their performance. Something like a classroom, if you have 30 people in a classroom, there are some people who are brilliant, who can learn and on their own even without a teacher and crack an exam. Say 20 to 30% would be average, whereas there will always be a few backbenchers who are just troublemakers. But right now in the agri industry, we think all farmers are the same, which is not true. So we want to start distinguishing between the good performers, who are now going to start getting a lot more visible. So interestingly, even the bankers and a lot of institutions are beginning to use this data to start looking at a transparent way by which they can start giving loans and better aid. So like, for example, you would like to give a scholarship only to the top performer. You will not like to give a scholarship to a bottom performer. So similarly, we would like to start encouraging the better performers, and so that overall the industry itself starts moving up. Similarly, even in the trading community or the mandi community, the general perception is all middlemen are bad, which is not the case. There are good people there also. So we also want to encourage people who pay on time, who pay in advance, and to meet their commitments. Their ratings from the farmer side would be pretty good, so that other farmers would also be encouraged to deal with them. So overall, as a community, we feel that making it transparent, making the industry transparent, and giving more choice, and basically the price discovery becoming a lot more transparent, will be the biggest intervention we want to bring into the system. Because we know that a lot of small changes have happened across the way, but we need that technology can intervene and start setting the baseline or the foundations of this industry better, so that going forward anybody coming into this industry would be a lot more easier to do business at this point.